I woke in a cold home. The stove was dead. I saw a letter on the table. Wax sealed it tight. My hands shook. I whispered, "Dad." No answer came. Only silence. I broke the seal. I read, "Clara, I failed. He will come. Pay what I owe. Forgive me. Run." My heart hit my ribs. I said, "I will not run." I stepped outside for air. Wind pushed dust across the yard. The sky held rain. I prayed for courage. Luke rode up from the farm. He pulled his horse near the gate. "You look pale," he said. "I found a letter," I said. "From who?" He asked. "My father," I said. "He left." "He made debt. Who owns the debt?" Luke asked. "Elias Ward," I said. Luke swore. "That man collects," he said. "I know," I said. "I must pay." "Come to our barn," he said. "Hide a while." "I will not hide," I said. "This is my home." "Home may not save you," he said. "I want truth," I said. Luke looked down the road. "If you need help, wave a cloth," he said. "I will," I said. He rode away. Hooves beat dust. I cleaned the table to think. I checked the money box. It was empty. I folded the letter and kept it close. I said, "I will pay with work." Day crawled. The sun sank low. I heard a horse on the road. "One rider." I stood on the porch and waited. The rider came through dust. A black coat, a wide hat. He stopped at the gate. "Clara Hale?" He said. "Yes," I said. "I am Elias Ward," he said. "I came for my money." "My father ran," I said. "He left the debt with me." "He ran last night," he said. "He ran after lies." "I did not lie," I said. "I do not want talk," he said. "I want payment. I have little money," I said. "I can work." He scanned the yard. "This home holds no value," and he said. "It holds my life," I said. "How much do you earn?" He asked. $2 a week, I said. "That will not pay," he said. "What do you want from me?" I asked. "Repayment," he said. "And truth." "I can cook," I said. "I can sew. I can clean stalls. I can ride. You do not run." He asked. "I do not run," I said. He stepped closer. Rain touched his coat. "Good," he said. "You will come with me." "Tonight?" I asked. "Tonight," he said. "Storm comes. I need to lock my door," I said. "I need to write a note." "Make it short," he said. I went inside. I wrote, "Mom, I go to pay. Do not fear. I will come back. I promise." I set the note by the stove. I slid the letter into my pocket. I closed the door. Outside wind kicked grit. "Will I be paid?" I asked. "You will eat," he said. "You will sleep." "The sun will fall. How long?" I asked. "As long as it takes," he said. "I want it in writing," I said. "I see," he said. "I have pain," I said. Pain gave me courage. He handed me a pen and paper. "Write," he said. I wrote the terms in plain words. He read. He signed his name under mine. "Mount up," he said. "Hold tight." I looked once at home. It still felt like my heart. I climbed onto his horse. I sat behind him. My hands gripped the saddle. "We ride to my ranch," he said. "I will work fair," I said. "I will pay the debt." "You will repay him," he said. "Him?" I asked. "Me," he said. And the man I was, I did not answer. Rain began to fall. Tears mixed with rain. "Your father made choices," he said. "I know," I said. "I live with the cost. Do you hate him?" He asked. "I hate the lie," I said. "I love the man." "That is heavy," he said. "It is my life," I said. "You asked for writing," he said. "Most beg." "I am done begging," I said. "I need truth." "Truth cuts," he said. "Let it cut," I said. "Then heal." "We start at dawn," he said. "Kitchen at 5. "I can do that," I said. "You will keep your head down," he said. The rain started before sunrise. I stood by the broken fence, the letter still in my hand. Elias Ward's name was written in black ink. Bold, hard, final. When I saw him ride up the road, my chest tightened. His horse looked like it came from another world. Black, proud, shining under the rain. He stopped in front of me. "Where's your father?" he said. "I don't know," I whispered. "He left last night." Elias looked at me, eyes cold as stone. "Then the debt falls on you." My throat went dry. "On me?" "I didn't make that promise." "You live under his name," he said. "His debt is your burden." I shook my head. "I can't pay you." "You can work," he said. "You'll come with me." I stared at him. the rain mixing with my tears. "You can't just take me." "I can," he said quietly. "And I will." He turned his horse and waited. My mother's weak cough came from inside the house. I looked back at our little home, roof leaking, walls cracked, smell of damp wood. Everything felt like it was ending. I went inside and kissed my mother's forehead. "Mama, I'll be back," I said. Her eyes opened halfway. "Clara, don't go with him." "I have to," I said. "We need the medicine." She tried to speak, but I walked out before I could lose my strength. Elias was waiting. I climbed onto the wagon behind him. We didn't talk. The road was long, wet, and quiet. I held my old bag tight. My shoes filled with mud, and every bump made my bones ache. After hours, his ranch came into view. Wide fences, tall barns, silver roofs. It looked rich, but sad. He stopped the wagon near a big house. A woman with gray hair and sharp eyes came out. Her face was long, her dress black. "Mrs. Dalloway," Elias said. "This is the girl." Her lips pressed thin. "The debtor's daughter." "Yes." "She'll work?" "She'll pay," Elias said. Mrs. Dalloway turned to me. "Follow me." I followed her inside. The floor was clean, too clean for my boots. She pointed to a narrow door near the kitchen. "You sleep there. You eat after the others." I nodded, trying not to shake. "Don't touch the master's things," she warned. "Don't speak unless spoken to." I said softly, "Yes, ma'am." Elias's voice came from behind. "She'll start in the stables tomorrow." I turned. "I can't. I've never worked with horses." He stepped closer, eyes hard. "You'll learn. You owe me." I wanted to shout, "I owe nothing," but my voice failed. Instead, I whispered, "Yes, sir." He looked at me for a long time, then turned and left. When the door closed, the silence pressed heavy. I went into the small room. Just one bed, one candle, one window. I dropped my bag and sat down. My hands shook as I opened my father's old scarf. The ranch was too quiet. Every step I took echoed in the halls. Wind moved through broken shutters like a voice. I kept hearing that name, Martha. Mrs. Dalloway said it once, sharp and cold. She was the lady of this house. I didn't ask more. I didn't need to. Her shadow was everywhere. At breakfast, Elias sat at the long table. He didn't look at me. He just said, "Work starts at 6. I nodded and ate in silence. My hands shook when I held the cup. "Still afraid of me?" he asked suddenly. "I'm not afraid," I said, lying. He gave a short, dry laugh. "You should be." Then he stood and left. After he was gone, I cleaned the room. The chairs were heavy, the air heavier. Dust lay thick over old photos. In one frame, I saw a woman in white. Her eyes were kind, her smile faint. "Martha." Something pulled me toward the parlor. Inside, I found her piano covered in cloth. I lifted it a little. A soft note sang, lonely and pure. It felt like the house was breathing again. I whispered, "You were loved, weren't you?" The room gave no answer, but I could feel it, her story still here. Every wall, every chair, every bit of air. When I turned, Elias stood in the doorway. His eyes were dark. "Don't touch that," he said. I said don't. His voice broke halfway through. He walked closer, his boots heavy on the wood. "This house doesn't need more ghosts," he said. I wanted to ask what he meant, but I stayed quiet. His gaze met mine, and for a second I saw sadness behind the anger. After he left, I went to the kitchen. The stove fire was low. I pushed in more wood, but the flame jumped. It caught my sleeve. Pain flashed bright. I cried out and pulled away fast. My hand was red, skin raw and burning. I tried to find water, but the bucket was empty. Then I heard boots again. Elias grabbed my arm. "What did you do?" "I was just trying to help," I said. He sighed, angry but tired. "Hold still." He tore a strip from his shirt and wrapped my hand slow and tight. His fingers brushed mine, rough but careful. The pain made me shake. He looked straight at me. "You should be careful," he said softly. I tried to laugh, but it came out like a sob. I can't even light a fire right. You don't belong here, he said. I know, I whispered. But I can't go home. For a long time we said nothing. Only the crackle of the fire spoke. Then I asked quietly, why do you hate me so much? He froze. His jaw tightened. Finally, he said, because you remind me I can still feel. His words hung in the air like smoke. I didn't understand them fully, but they hurt anyway. He left without another word. The door shut behind him hard. I sat there alone, staring at my bandaged hand. The pain pulsed hot and alive. Maybe that's what he meant. Feeling was pain. Pain meant being alive. And this house, this whole place, was still alive, even if everyone inside pretended it wasn't. That night, I dreamed of fire and wind. And when I woke, the piano's single note still rang in my head, like Martha's voice whispering my name. The morning air smelled like wet dust and roses. I saw a shiny black carriage stop near the gate. Mrs. Dalloway rushed out, bowing low. I froze when the door opened. Rebecca stepped out, her perfume heavy, her smile sharp. Clara Hale, she said, looking me up and down. Still here? Yes, ma'am, I said softly. I work for Mr. Ward now, she laughed, high and cruel. Work? You mean hide? You and your father have that talent, I bit my tongue. I wanted to answer, but my hands were shaking. Elias came out from the stable, wiping his hands with a cloth. His eyes met hers first, then mine. Rebecca, he said flatly. Why are you here? She walked close and touched his arm. I came to check on you. And your new helper. Elias looked away. She's here to work. That's all. Rebecca smiled like a cat. Oh, Elias, you're too kind. Everyone in town says her father stole from you. Maybe she helped him. My breath stopped. I wanted to shout no, but she kept talking. She always had those quiet eyes, she said. The kind that hide things. You should ask her, Elias. Maybe she knows where the money went. Elias's face darkened. That's enough, Rebecca. But she leaned closer, whispering, don't tell me you believe her innocent face. She's playing you, like her father did. I stepped back, clutching my apron. The room felt smaller. Mrs. Dalloway watched from the hall, her lips tight. Go finish your work, Elias said to me, voice low. Yes, sir, I whispered. That night, I couldn't eat. I sat on the edge of the narrow bed, staring at the candle flame. The walls felt like they were closing in. Outside, thunder rolled far away. I heard boots in the corridor. Elias opened my door without knocking. His eyes were cold. Did you know? My heart jumped. Know what? He stepped closer. About your father. About the stolen money. Did you know? No, I said fast. I swear I didn't. He didn't blink. Rebecca says you helped him. She lies, I said. She hates me. Why would she lie? He asked. I looked down. Because she wants you to hate me too. He stared at me for a long moment. Then he said, your father signed every paper. Every deal. You didn't stop him? Tears burned my eyes. I was 16. He never told me. Elias's jaw tightened. You expect me to believe that? Yes, I said. Because it's the truth. He looked at my trembling hands. Then why are you shaking? Because you scare me, I whispered. He turned away. The door closed behind him like thunder. I fell to my knees, crying into my hands. His footsteps faded down the hall. The storm broke outside, rain hitting the roof hard. When morning came, Mrs. Dalloway handed me my pay envelope. It felt light. I opened it, half gone. Mr. Ward's orders, she said coldly. My throat closed. He doesn't believe me, I said. She didn't answer. I walked outside into the gray light. The fields were wet, the horses quiet. I held the coins in my hand, cold and few. Betrayal tasted like dust. It filled my mouth, my lungs, my heart. I looked at the ranch house, its tall windows, its silence, and thought, I came here to pay a debt, but somehow he's taking more than money. I turned back to the stables, whispering to myself, he'll see the truth one day. He has to, but deep down, a voice said, he won't. And I believed it. The morning was cold. I was cleaning the kitchen when my hand touched the old flour tin. It felt heavy, strange. I opened it and found a small brown book, my father's handwriting on the cover. My heart stopped. I sat down, fingers shaking. Why did he hide this? I turned the pages. Each one was full of numbers, names, and short notes. Then I read one line that burned through me. Cooper and Rebecca made me sign. I must protect Clara. I couldn't breathe. My father hadn't just lost money, he'd been trapped. I whispered, "You didn't betray me." They did. Tears blurred the ink. I wiped my face and kept reading. The last page said, "If she ever finds this, tell her I'm sorry I made her pay my debt with her life." I closed the journal. My chest hurt like fire. I looked outside at the dusty road leading to town. I said aloud, "I won't hide anymore." The sky was gray when I reached the town. My horse's hooves hit the ground like thunder. People stared, but I didn't stop. I pushed open the bank door so hard the bell crashed against the wall. Mr. Cooper looked up from his desk, his fake smile already waiting. "Well, Miss Hale," he said. "Did your master send you for more mercy?" My jaw clenched. "You used my father as bait," I said. "You took his land, his name, and now you try to own me." He laughed, short and cold. "Your father was a gambler, dear." He knew the risk. I pulled the small brown journal from my bag and slammed it on his desk. "Read this. You and Rebecca wrote the deal. You forced him to sign when he was drunk." His eyes widened for half a second. Then he smiled again, thin and slow. "You have no proof anyone else was there." I leaned closer. "You wrote your name." He froze. Silence filled the room. Only the ticking clock spoke. I said softly, "You ruined us." "But I will ruin your peace." He stood, red-faced. "Get out!" I didn't move. "You'll pay for this, Cooper." "Who will believe you?" He said. "A poor girl?" "Your father's gone. No one will listen." Behind me, the door opened. A deep voice said, "I will." I turned. Elias stood there, his coat covered with dust, eyes sharp as a knife. "Mr. Ward," Cooper said quickly, "this is a private." Elias stepped forward. "Show me what she's holding." Cooper tried to smile again. "This girl is confused. Show me." His tone was low, dangerous. I gave Elias the journal. His hand brushed mine, steady and warm. He opened it and read. His face changed. Anger, shock, then something darker. When he looked up, his eyes met mine. "You found this today?" "Yes," I said. "In our kitchen." He wrote everything. He turned to Cooper. "You lied. You made me destroy her father's name." Cooper swallowed. "Business is business." Elias slammed the journal shut. "You'll return every acre you stole." "That's impossible," Cooper whispered. "Then I'll take it from your blood," Elias said. I felt cold inside. "His rage was bigger than mine, Elias," I said softly. "Don't. He isn't worth it." He looked at me. "He ruined your life." "And you'll ruin yours if you act like him," I said. "My father made that mistake once." His jaw tightened, but he nodded. Elias threw the journal onto the desk. "You'll face the law, Cooper." "Not my hands." Cooper tried to speak, but Elias was already walking out. I followed, my knees weak but my heart lighter. Outside, the rain started, soft and gray. Elias stopped near his horse. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "I didn't know," I said. "I thought my father was guilty." He looked away. So did I. We stood there, quiet, rain sliding down our faces. Finally, he said, "You're stronger than I thought." I laughed once, tired. "No, just too tired to be afraid." He nodded. "You shouldn't ride home alone." "I can," I said. "But thank you." He didn't move. "Clara, you changed something in me today." I met his eyes. "Maybe you just saw the truth." He gave me a half smile, the first real one I'd ever seen on him. "Keep that journal safe. It's your father's last gift," I nodded. I sat on the cold floor of the stables, my hands pressed to my eyes. The smell of hay and horses mixed with the salt of my tears. My heart hurt. Every breath felt heavy. I didn't hear the door open until his boots stepped close. "Clara," Elias said. His voice was low, rough. "It's late." I wiped my face fast. "I know." He didn't move. The silence filled the space between us. The wind outside pushed against the wood walls. "You could have run," he said. "You had the chance." I looked up. His face was half in shadow, half in moonlight. "I know," I whispered. "Then why stay?" I swallowed hard. "Because running would make me like him." He frowned. "Your father?"
"Yes," I said.
"He left when things got hard." "I won't." Elias's eyes softened for a moment. "You think you're better?" "No," I said. "Just different." I still believe in promises. He let out a short, tired laugh. Promises are lies people say with hope. Maybe, I said. But hope is all I have. He turned away, brushing his hand through his hair. I could see his shoulders rise and fall, heavy with something he didn't say. Do you hate me, Clara? He asked. I took a slow breath. I did, at first. And now? I don't know, I said. You scare me, but not the way you think. You make me feel seen. He looked back at me. Seen? Yes, I said. Like I'm not just the girl with debt. Like I'm still human. He walked closer, his boots soft on the hay. I could smell rain on his coat. His eyes were tired, full of something I couldn't name. I never meant to hurt you, he said, but I don't know how to be kind anymore. You were kind, I said softly. When you bandaged my hand, he blinked. That was nothing. It was something, I said. You don't see how your small things matter. He gave a small smile, the kind that hurts more than it heals. You shouldn't forgive me. I'm not sure I do, I said. But I understand you. He stopped right in front of me now. I had to look up to meet his eyes. Why are you crying tonight? He asked. Because I feel empty, I said. Because I want to go home, but I have no home left. His face changed. The cold man I knew wasn't there. Only a lonely one remained. He knelt beside me. I lost my home too, he said. When Martha died, I nodded. You still love her. He looked down. I think I loved who I was with her. The man I can't be again. The words sank deep into me. Maybe that man isn't gone, I said. Maybe he's just scared. He met my eyes. You sound like her when you talk like that. Then maybe she's still with you, I said. He reached out but stopped halfway. His hand hovered in the air. Don't make me believe again, Clara. I don't deserve it. Then believe for me, I whispered. Not for you. He closed his eyes as if fighting something inside. Then slowly, very slowly, he took my hand. His palm was warm, rough, trembling just a little. My heart thumped hard in my chest. His touch wasn't like before. It wasn't a command. It was a question. Do you trust me? He asked. I want to, I said. I don't know if I can. That's enough, he said quietly. The rain started outside, soft on the roof. We sat there, not moving, hands together. The world felt smaller, safer. He said, I always thought money fixed things, that I could buy peace. But I can't. Peace isn't bought, I said. It's earned, he nodded. And have I earned yours? Not yet, I said. But maybe you can. His thumb brushed over my fingers, gentle. You could still leave, Clara. You're free now. The debt's almost paid, I looked at him. And if I go? He took a breath. Then I'll watch you go. But if you stay... His voice broke a little. Maybe I'll learn to breathe again. Something in me broke too. I whispered, Elias. He stood up, helped me rise. Our hands didn't let go. The lantern light flickered across his face. Come with me, he said. His voice was soft, almost afraid. Where? I asked. Anywhere that isn't pain, I smiled weakly. That's not a place, Elias. That's a promise. He gave a small nod. Then let it start tonight. The storm grew stronger, but I didn't feel cold. His hand held mine tight, like it meant something now. For the first time since he came to my door, I didn't feel like a debt to be paid. I felt like a person again, and for a moment, maybe he did too. I woke up before sunrise. The air felt strange, too quiet. I smelled smoke, faint and bitter. I ran outside barefoot. The sky was gray with dust. My heart jumped. Elias! I shouted. Something's burning. He came out of the house, pulling on his shirt. Stay inside, he said sharply. But I shook my head. No, it's the barn. We both ran. The closer we got, the stronger the smoke hit my throat. The horses were screaming inside. I saw the flames crawling up the wooden beams like hungry hands. God, no. Elias whispered. Rebecca. I looked at him. You think she... He didn't answer. His face said enough. Get water, he yelled to Luke, who was already running toward the well. I grabbed a bucket too, my hands shaking. We threw water again and again, but it did nothing. The fire roared back, hotter, louder, crueler. Elias, the horses, I cried. He covered his mouth with his sleeve. We'll get them out. We pushed the heavy door. Smoke poured into our faces. I couldn't see. My eyes burned, my lungs felt like fire. I heard Elias shouting, Move, Clara! Move! Inside the horses kicked and screamed. I reached for one. Snow, the white mare, but she reared, wild with fear. "It's okay," I coughed. "It's me." I tried to untie the rope, but my fingers slipped. Elias ran past me. "Get out!" he yelled. "No, I can't leave them." He grabbed my arm. "You'll die here!" A loud crack split the air. The roof beam fell between us. Fire shot up the middle. He jumped back. I fell hard on the dirt. "Clara!" he shouted. "I'm fine." I crawled under the smoke and found another way around the stalls. Luke appeared through the haze. "Take her out!" he yelled to Elias. "I'll get the horses!" Elias shook his head. "No!" But Luke pushed him. "Go!" Elias pulled me toward the door. My body screamed in pain. My hair smelled like burning straw. Behind us, Luke's voice shouted one last time. "They're out!" "Go!" Then a crash. The roof caved in. The heat threw us forward. Elias shielded me with his arms. We fell outside, gasping for air. "Luke!" I screamed. But there was no answer, only the crackle of fire and the awful silence after it. Elias tried to stand, but stumbled. His face was covered in soot. "He's gone," he said hoarsely. I grabbed his hand. "We can't just leave him!" He looked at me, his eyes full of pain. He saved us. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The barn was gone, the flames rising like the end of the world. I felt tears cut through the ash on my cheeks. Elias turned to me, breathing hard. "If I lose you too." He stopped, coughed violently, then whispered, "I won't make it." "Don't say that," I said. "We're alive." He touched my face with trembling fingers. "Because of you." I shook my head. "Because of Luke." The fire spread to the fence line. Sparks danced in the wind. We dragged buckets, trying to stop it, but our arms were too weak. The night was too cruel. Finally, the sky began to lighten. The first pale glow of dawn touched the black smoke. Everything smelled like loss. The barn was ash. The horses that survived stood shaking by the trees. I sat on the ground, my hands shaking. "Everything's gone," I said softly. Elias sank beside me. "Everything but you." I wanted to be strong, but my voice broke. "Luke's gone. The ranch, your life, it's all gone." He looked at the smoking field. Maybe it needed to burn. I turned to him. "What do you mean?" He sighed. "I built this place out of pride. Out of anger, maybe. This is what letting go looks like." I didn't know what to say. I just leaned against his shoulder. His heart beat fast under the soot and ruin. After a long silence, he whispered, "When I saw you in that fire, I thought I was being punished." "For what?" I asked. "For never saving anyone before." I reached for his hand. "You saved me now," he nodded weakly. "And you saved me too, Clara." A tear rolled down his cheek. I had never seen him cry before. I touched his face. "We'll rebuild, together." He smiled faintly, broken but real. "If we live through this day," I helped him stand. He leaned on me, coughing. "We'll need to bury Luke," he said quietly. I nodded. "We will. He deserves peace." We watched the sun climb over the burned fields. Light touched the ashes like gold. For the first time, it didn't feel like the end. It felt like a beginning, painful, but real. Elias looked at me one last time before we walked back to the house. His voice was tired but full of something new, something like hope. "The dead is gone," he said. I took his hand. "Yes," I whispered. "The fire took it all." And as we walked through the smoke, I realized the truth. What was burned, the room smelled like medicine and rain. Machines beeped softly beside me. Elias lay still, his face pale under the hospital light. His hand was heavy in mine. "Elias," I whispered. "Please wake up." No answer. Only the rain tapping the window. I sat there for hours, holding his hand, afraid that if I let go, he'd disappear like everyone else I'd ever loved. When his fingers moved, I almost cried. He opened his eyes, slow and tired. "Clara? I'm here." My throat hurt when I spoke. He tried to sit up, but I stopped him. "Don't move. You're safe now." He looked at me for a long time. "You saved me," I shook my head. "No, you saved yourself. I just pulled you out." His lips twitched. "You always argue." "I learned it from you," I said. He smiled weakly, then coughed. "The ranch?" "Gone," I said. "Everything burned. But we're alive." He stared at the ceiling. "I worked all my life for that land. And now, nothing. I touched his arm. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe it's time to start over. He turned his head toward me. Start over? With what? With courage, I said. And faith, he laughed softly. You sound like a preacher. No, I said. I sound like someone who finally understands what matters. He frowned. And what's that? Not money, not land. Not debt, I swallowed hard. Just peace. His hand squeezed mine. Peace doesn't come easy. I know, I whispered. But I forgave my father before he died. His eyes widened. You did? Yes, I had to. I was angry too long. It poisoned me. He closed his eyes. Then the debt is paid, I blinked fast. What debt? The one that chained both of us, he said. Yours was love. Mine was guilt. I felt tears roll down my cheeks. Elias! He smiled faintly. You gave me something I never thought I'd feel again. What? Hope. I pressed my forehead to his hand. You gave me the same. The rain slowed. The nurse came and told me to rest, but I stayed until morning. When I woke, his bed was empty. My heart dropped. Where is he? I asked the nurse. He left early, she said. Signed himself out. Didn't say where he was going. I ran outside, cold air cutting my face. The yard was empty. Only the wet earth, the gray sky, and the quiet. Days passed. Weeks. I went back to the town's small inn and helped in the kitchen. Life became slow again. Every time I heard a horse, my heart jumped, but it was never him. Then, one evening, the innkeeper handed me a letter. It came for you, she said. My hands shook as I broke the seal. Elias's handwriting filled the page. Clara, if you still believe in freedom, come with me. There's land out west, green, untouched. No debts, no ghosts, just sky and open ground. I'll wait at the crossing until the river freezes. I sat there, reading it again and again. My tears fell on the ink. The words blurred, but the meaning stayed. Freedom. That night, I packed what little I owned. A faded dress, my mother's ring, and the letter. Mrs. Dalloway came to the door. Going somewhere, child? Yes, I said. Home, she nodded once. Then go before the snow. Outside, the moon lit the muddy road. I saddled Luke's old horse. My hands shook as I tied my bag. Let's go, I whispered. He's waiting. The wind bit my face as I rode past the ashes of the ranch. Smoke still clung to the broken fence posts. I stopped and looked once more. This was where I lost everything, I said softly. And where I found myself. The horse snorted, impatient. All right, I said, smiling. Let's move. The trail opened toward the west, endless and wide. The sun broke through the clouds, painting the fields gold. I thought of Elias's voice, calm and rough. Come with me. And for the first time, I wasn't afraid. I pressed my hand over my heart and whispered, I'm coming. The wind carried my words forward, across the hills, toward the man who once came for a debt,